There we go. Hello,
Alright,
everyone. Welcome to the eSight Vision Central on pets. Today is March 25th, 2022, and we're just opening up the webinar now. And I was going to wait for people to attend and join the webinar here.
You read me, Tyler?
And I can hear you, Richard.
Thank you.
There we go. Sounding good. All right. So I hope everyone is doing well. We're gonna have some fun today, looking at techniques of using eSight and looking at our pets and kind of getting a feel for what we can do in a variety of situations and have some fun. And we're going to have some guest appearances from some pets from the various coaches and some dogs. Cat might make an appearance, and there's some guinea pigs. That's pretty cool. So I hope everyone's excited for that. And I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes here before we get started. There we go. Okay. So.
I'd say give it a couple minutes here, see if anybody else.
Yeah, I'm looking to see who's here.
All right. I don't have music playing like you've all used to, but Richard, do you want to sing for us?
Yeah. We will rock you.
We can probably go into some of the announcements, Tyler.
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, I think we should. Okay. So we're going to start the webinar now. So the agenda today is going to do some introduction and housekeeping. And then we're going to learn about using our eSight with our pets and any questions afterwards. This is live, so things might happen. This is for users only. For eSight 3 and eSight 4 users, you can raise your hand to ask questions at any time throughout the program, and we also have a question period at the end. To raise your hand on PC, it is Alt-Y, and to raise your hand on a Mac, it is Option-Y. Is that correct, Jeanette?
It is.
Awesome. Okay, and this session should be about 30 minutes. We might go a little bit over. Sometimes we're prone to do that, but it'll be a 30-minute session. We'll have some fun, and I got some footage here showing using your eSight when we're dealing with our small furry friends. So for the basic foundation of using eSight, we want to make sure that the eSight is fitting properly. If the device isn't comfortable for you, you won't want to be wearing it and using it. So always check the headbands on the eSight 3. There's no pressure on your nose. Or for the eSight 4, making sure the halo is adjusted and angled correctly, and that this camera and everything is lined up. And if you have any questions about the fit or any concern about the fit, feel free to reach out to your eSight coach at any time, and we'll be happy to help you out and walk you through it. eSight is designed to keep you mobile with the bioptic tilt. So you'll probably notice during the footage that we're seeing as well with the animals, we are utilizing bioptic tilt by looking underneath, say if we're reaching down to pick up a ball, or just trying to line things up when before we're looking at a label and so forth. So it is something to keep in mind. The bioptic tilt is a great feature when using these techniques. For cable management, just having a system that helps with using your eSight. So if you're an eSight 3 user, just making sure you're comfortable with the cable and it's not in the way, especially if you're being mobile and you're playing with your animals and stuff, they don't catch the cord. I've had my cat grab the eSight 3 cord a few times over the years, so always just making sure it's tucked away. And for eSight 4 users, just making sure you have additional batteries or have any good battery management system. I know when I'm doing my stuff and they're playing around, I always make sure I have another battery fully charged, so I can just switch out and swap in another battery depending on what's going on. If you have any questions about cable management or battery management, feel free to reach out to your coach as well. So we're going to be doing using eSight with their pets. So today we have a number of videos and great footage from our various coaches using eSight in various techniques. And we're first going to be looking at cutting up food for the guinea pigs with Richard. And so Richard, I am going to start the video of you using that technique. And I'll let you kind of explain what's going on and go from there.
All right.
So open this up. And everyone should be seeing the video. And I'll make a larger for everyone. There we go.
There we go. All right. So guinea pigs, they like a lot of fresh veggies, just like rabbits and gerbils and hamsters and all our small little furry friends. So what I am doing here is one, I'm trying to make sure that I have a really good contrast because I am using a knife and well, we don't want to lose our fingers, right? So we have a nice dark green pepper and a light cutting board. And then I'm zoom in to where I can kind of, get a good look. And then just like you do when you're writing, I'm looking for the end of that knife. And once I find the end of that knife, then all I have to do is just kind of follow it through to make the cut. And then I'm going to do the same thing on all four sides. Turn it, locate the end of the knife, and then pull it through. And so that keeps my fingers safe and the guinea pigs happy. So, I mean, that's really most of it. Like I say, a lot of things do go back to the writing skills that you learn, and following the end of that pen is the same as following the end of this knife. Very similar, very similar things, same kind of technique, and it will serve you well, and it will help you kind of develop your hand-eye coordination as you go, because it's a little bit different when you're wearing your eSight. I know that looks close to my fingers, but I assure you I can see them very well with my eSight. I know where it's at. So yeah, I'm just cutting these just cutting them into strips, and then usually one pepper gets us a couple days. So we'll put the rest of it in a baggie, and then I go take it to the pigs. And the minute that they hear that bag crinkle and hear me cut, they'll start squeaking. And then once they hear me in the hallway, they really start going crazy, which is kind of fun.
What else do you feed them besides peppers, Richard?
So we feed them spring mix, romaine, cilantro, dandelion greens, tomatoes. Occasionally we feed them carrots, but you can't give them too much of that because the sugars in it will build up for them. It's not super good, but they love them. So yeah, about all that kind of stuff. And we mix it up, it's not always the same thing.
Very cool. All right. Well, the next video Richard's going to show is just how he's managing the water bottle on the guinea pig tank and kind of what he's concerned about and how he uses his eSight to help him. So I will start this video, Richard.
Thank you, Tyler. So what we have here is you can't tell because you don't see the menus, but I've actually turned on my flashlight because right now the guinea pig cage was at this time in my daughter's closet while we were renovating her room. But the thing with small animals and their water bottles is a lot of times, at least with these guys, they will push the end. They'll push. Yeah, they're cute, but they're also devious. They will push that water bottle spout completely out of the cage, and then they don't have water, and you can't tell that. So I use my eSight just to kind of zoom in and be able to tell that spout is pointed in the cage. Now I can also, right now, because I have the flashlight on, I can tell what the water level of the bottle was. But if you need additional help with that, remember to add some contrast, and that should help that that water kind of show up and separate from the container it's in.
Very nice. Okay. And the next video I'm going to show is you cleaning the guinea pig cages. I'll start that video for you, Richard.
All right. Thank you, Tyler. So, of course, with pets, you have to do the cleanup. And even though my daughter's supposed to do the cleanup, my wife and I find ourselves doing the cleanup quite a bit. So we have a little dust buster here that cleans up the you know, their droppings or whatever. And once they get out of the way here, yeah, she doesn't even care anymore. Their names is Daisy and Violet. That one's Violet. She's not having it. But
Get outta here.
anyway, yeah. So, but very similar to how you use, you know, what I was doing with the knife, I found the end of that dustbuster and I'm just kind of pulling it and following it along. Now, the dustbuster's batteries started to give out, so it doesn't look like it's picking up, you know, quite as well as it normally would, but the technique is you know, the same, right? So now I'm just going in kind of a grid pattern where I'm following the end of the dustbuster, start at the far end and just pulling it down through and then going back up and doing the same thing. And
Very good.
yeah, so that is kind of how to clean up, you know, after the guinea pigs. And then when it's all said and done, you put them in a little playpen and take this fabric bedding out and then put it in the washer and do it all over again in a couple more days.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, Richard. And next we're going to be
Little poodle butts.
so next we're going to be looking at the Jeanette's dog Teddy for indoor feeding and some bit of movement here and play. I'm going to start that video for you, Jeanette.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
And
this is Teddy.
There we go. I'm going to ask you who it was.
Yeah, this is Teddy. And we're just having a little play. You can see he's very small. He's about 7 pounds. So actually, believe it or not, he is zoomed up. But I wanted to show, you know, basically, you know, when you've got your eSight on, it's you want to know where the dog is facing because it's such a small dog. And you can't always see, I can't always see when the dog is looking up at me, when he's looking the other way. But with eSight, of course, once you zoom up, you can see where he's looking. And of course, I was feeding him with giving him some treats and training him up. And as Richard very, you know, succinctly showed on both of his videos, the point of actually finding in this case, where Teddy's mouth is, and now I'm looking at the plate with the little treats on it, finding where his mouth is, and then popping that treat in there. That technique is a similar technique to the one that you might use, like if you're putting on lipstick, ladies, or gentlemen, depending on what you want to do. You might have to find the brush and then brush, you know, find the lipstick, put the brush in the lipstick, and then find your lips in the mirror and brush, put the lipstick on with the brush. It's a similar technique. Or if you're writing and then you're looking at something else, like maybe you're looking at a little card and you're looking at something that you want to write down, and then you're looking back at what you're doing. This is very similar. So with Teddy here, we're playing, and at the same time, I'm sort of looking back at the plate where it is, where the treats are, and then looking back and finding his mouth, finding where he's looking, and zooming in, zooming out as I need to. You can see he's moving back and forth. So again, I'm adjusting the eSight zoom. I'm also using contrast because Teddy, you know, some dogs are black and white, brown and white, you know, they've got different colorings. He is, apart from his ears, which have a little brown in them, he's pretty much all white. So we have a nice contrast against the wood floor, but at the same time, he's all white. So I find that using contrast increases that definition. And for those of you who have got an eSight 3, the contrast dial is the upper right-hand dial if the controller is facing you. And if you've got an eSight 4 and the remote control is facing you, the 9 o'clock and the 3 o'clock arrows will decrease and increase contrast for you. Now, another technique that you can use, especially if you've got a moving object like a little tiny dog like this. Sometimes you can use what's called the finder. And on the eSight 4, that is the middle button of the 3 buttons just above the volume. And what you can do is, if you've zoomed up to a level that you like, but you just have to look away to do something and you need to find an object, you can press that and hold that finder and a little box will appear. And then you can actually put what you're looking for in that box and then release it, and it will bring it back to the original zoom level. Now here, Teddy is sitting for me. I had to use my eSight to see if he was actually sitting, because you can see the wall behind him is white. So again, contrast is difficult. You've got a little dog like this and he's moving around. So I find that when I use that technique, it really helps to define him against his background environment. You can see he's very small. I'm quite far away from him at this point. So I'm finding his mouth again, and then I'm going to be popping another treat in there. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much us playing together using eSight.
Very nice. Well done, Jeanette. Thank you. There's the finder there again. Excellent. Yep. Thank you for showing us Teddy. Okay. Next, we're going to have Rosa and with her 2 dogs and doing some outdoor play with some ball throwing. And I will start this up. There we go, Rosa. See the video?
So, yes. I'm also using similar techniques to Jeanette, where I'm zoomed in here and you see me, and then this zoom out position is because I use the finder button. So when I'm zoomed in close, I can see them where they are. And then when I zoom out, I can you see where I'm throwing the ball, things like that. When it gets a little funky, it's because I'm doing, as Tyler said, where I'm looking under the visor. So right now I'm looking at them. I use the finder. I see that the ball got thrown across the yard. When I release the finder, it'll zoom back in close and I can see who's bringing it to me. And then I look under the visor to grab the ball after I located it. So I see that the ball's there, and then I can reach out under the visor and use my hands to find it where it's on the floor. And then I'm able to zoom in and see them, make sure that they're both back next to me before I throw it again. And then I press finder and I'm able to zoom out and see where it goes, and back and forth. So that's an easier way. Instead of tap, 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 zoom in, tap, 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 zoom out, you just press the one button and it brings you in and out of the zooming more quickly. So then I can follow them, see if he drops it for me or if he's run away with it. Then I look under the visor, find it, and I'm able to throw it for them again.
Perfect. And they seem to be having lots of fun there. With the,
yeah, we're finally getting some nice weather, so that we're enjoying outside time.
That's great. That's great.
So, and you can see with the grass, the contrast. Yeah, I'm able to increase the contrast and I can see the ball against the grass pretty easily.
I was just going to ask that. They're good. And probably when you're playing with the animals, you want a ball that has a good amount of contrast on it.
Contrast,
you don't want to have
exactly.
Green ball on a green grass.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
For sure, that makes sense. Okay. So next, we're just going to look at some product labels with myself and one of my cats. So I'm going to start the first video here. I have some cat treats in front of me here, and I just want to show how I utilize the zoom and the contrast here. I have some temptations that I'm zooming in on with the eSight. I'm adding some zoom, and then as I'm zooming in, I'm actually adding a little bit of contrast to make the black on the yellow stand out a bit more. And as you can see, they're tasty chicken flavor. In all honesty, as I'm doing this video, I'm making sure I don't shake the treat container, because I have 2 cats in my house. The cat we'll see in the video is Spooky, who's the short hair. There's a long-haired cat named Raven, he really likes to run around the house for the treats, and just trying to be quiet as I did If you've had me as a coach, you may have seen Spooky in the background of my video calls with jumping up on the back of my chair and trying to participate. So she'll be in this video as well. When I'm looking at the treats here, I'm adding some magnification, and then for these ones, I'm just adding some contrast, and I just turned up the contrast, and you can see that the black on the yellow is quite distinct. And I can zoom in and I can read any of the feeding directions on the back, or I can read the ingredients on the back of the package. You know, some different treats have a different quality to them and stuff, and we find some temptation to work well for this and for them. But you know, everyone's you know, a little different. But I do find with the eSight, it's very much I can see this small font like ingredient list and so forth, and I find that quite surprising. I mean, normally I would just ignore the back of the packaging. You know, I just not pay attention to this. With the eSight, I can actually zoom in and read it, and I'm just using the standard zooming in and zooming out. And then when I want to show up here in the upper corner with just the tab we use to open the container. I have a lot of contrast turned on right now to make the yellow tab stand out more, to make the shadow of the tab stand out when I'm going to open it up. You know, I find if I'm not using the eSight, if it's yellow on yellow, it's flat, it's not necessarily easy to see. And it's showing the treats themselves. I can zoom in on them, and I've added some contrast just to kind of make them stand out more. As you can see, my basement carpet is more of a beige color, so having some contrast and they show up. Here's Spooky, who's been hanging out with me, going, you know, wanting some treats. And nice thing is I can actually zoom in and watch her eat the treats and enjoy that. And I tried petting her there. She did not want me to pet her. She just wanted to eat her treats. So that didn't go well. But it's very fun in sense to do this. When sometimes what I'll do with my normal routine, I'll take treats, put them in my hand, and I'll throw them across the room. And then they'll scramble for them, and I'll zoom in and watch them. And it's kind of fun to watch it that way. So that's looking at a treat container for the cat. And then the next video I'd like to show is looking at I have a pet snake. I elected not to show my pet snake just because most people are a fan of reptiles, but I do have I'll pause my video to make it bigger. I do have various bulbs that I have to use for the snake to keep the heat in the terrarium. So this is an infrared bulb that I use at night with the snake. And what I'm showing here is the flashlight is actually on right now. And the reason why I did this was because the box is a bit shiny and a bit reflective. The flashlight will help make font and, you know, the chart and stuff stand up more and be easier to see. But as you can see in the lower right corner, there is some brightness coming through. And it's just a matter of me tilting the box slightly away so it's not catching the reflection of the flashlight bouncing back. But the flashlight can be very helpful when reading product labels and stuff, especially, you know, if you're going through a cupboard and maybe you have a certain flavor of cat food or cans that you're looking for, you can use that flashlight in the cupboard. So wanted to show that technique of using it. Besides turning the flashlight on, I did also use the normal zoom and contrast for that.